Hi everyone! So this is a speed paint of a 360 artwork that I did recently because a few people were interested in seeing me work on one of these. It's not really a ton different from a regular speed paint, but you might see clips of me taking this into Photoshop to test it every so often, but other than that it's more or less the same. There's a little bit more brain work involved in calculating the light source, but yeah, other than that it's just kind of drawing on a grid. Hopefully it's interesting to watch. I intended this to be a 360 speed paint and where it was an actual 360 video that was colored sort of like around you as you looked around, but oh man, that was one problem after another with that. I'd worked out a way in which I could actually do it in about 4 different screen recordings. Sort of like how I did with the multi-cursor speed paint videos, but since the resolution for the image is super big at like 6000 by 3000, I needed something bigger than your standard 1920 by 1080 monitor if I wanted to do under 12 recordings, as I would have to record it like 100%, couldn't really zoom in on that. I was going to borrow my family's 4K TV monitor and hook it up to my laptop and record on that screen, which would get the recordings down to 4, which I felt was pretty doable. There was a lot of overlap there and it wouldn't have been a problem at all. I spent most of the morning setting it up, getting the 4K monitor to actually display in 4K. I don't know why I had trouble with that, but I did in the beginning. I had to mess around with my graphics drivers a little bit to get it to work, but it worked out and I got it displaying in full 4K and it was fine. Then I found out that the recording program I normally use doesn't actually record in 4K. The newest version did, but that wasn't the one I had, and of course I needed to record that high. So I poked around and I found out that OBS does 4K, but then I started getting errors with that, with black screen, as well as it wouldn't stop recording. And eventually I just messed with my drivers again, and I lost connection with the TV, and then my PC kept telling me I was having driver errors. So I assumed it was my fault, of course, in the beginning because it was working fine before I messed with it, and then it wasn't working after that, so, you know, makes sense. A refresh of my PC didn't fix it, and then neither did factory resetting my PC. So at that point it was like, okay, you know what, this isn't my fault here. Anything I did to it has been removed from the PC, so we were planning on taking it back to the shop. I did eventually, I think like a week or 2 later, I managed to sort it out by just messing with things again, and I had to search through a whole bunch of older drivers for the PC, and then it wasn't even on the same site as the rest of the drivers, but eventually I did get it sorted. I got back my second monitor capabilities and my 3D tools in Photoshop because, I mean, I could have done without the second monitor, that was kind of a pain, but I was more bothered by the fact that I couldn't do anything 3D in Photoshop at all, and that's what I enjoy messing around with at the moment, so that was like really bothering me. Thank goodness, because I didn't want to be without my PC for any length of time, but yeah, so I don't really know if I've actually learned anything from this, and I will probably be trying all of this again the next 360 image I try to make, if I'm honest. Especially now that I have the updated version of the recording program I use Camtasia. I was using Camtasia 8 and I'm using Camtasia 9, and Camtasia 9 does offer 4K recording, and I've never had an issue with it in terms of an actual recording program. So anyways, all of that aside, I had a lot of fun with the actual drawing of this. This is the one non-convention thing that I've been working on this month, and it's a much more detailed happy shape artwork with actually the right dimensions this time, because the first attempt, I don't know how I messed that up, but it was not actually a 2x1 image, and it's with Toshiyuki, the original song's protagonist, in it instead of Akiharu. It's not a Utao cover. So after I bought some of Koron's merch, they must have looked at my Twitter, my pinned tweet, which was 360 related stuff, and they thought it was pretty cool, so I really wanted to do something a little bit more impressive. I said in really poor Japanese that I wanted to do a Toshiyuki version at some point when I got a little bit better, and so now that I feel relatively confident with the process, I've gone and done that. I think this hit the mark, maybe, I don't know. I really hope they like it. I'm sure they will, but, you know, I'm just a bit nervous showing them it. But yeah, so that's that. I hope the 360 speed paint is interesting. Next time definitely will be another attempt at a 360 video where it's all painted in around you. I'm not giving up on that just yet, so... so yeah, until next time, thank you for watching.